And hi guys, and welcome to the 40k Empress show with this topic that we have on our hands, and it's female custodies are canon now for some reason. And we're going to talk about, of course, well, everything possible because I so happen to be female, but that does not mean that I will not be objective in this manner because I always try to be as the 40k Empress, and in general, really, anything that has to do with anything, I always try to be as much as not biased as possible. I don't have to be actually biased on some particular things anyway. So even if there's a female character or non-female character, I always tell you if that makes any sense or not. So we're going to see this on a few levels, and in case I forget, sorry, a viewpoint, please let me know. If I did that, I would like to address every possible viewpoint so we can really dive into this and see how it is. I never heard in my life of female custodians because there weren't any female custodians in the lore until now. So out of the blue, we have a female custody, and this came with the latest codex for the custodies, which many people are actually disappointed by because they kind of nerf the custodies in some ways. And of course, people that play the tabletop will know exactly what that means. And if you know, one of my dear friends, Sir D, and I had you in the chat as well, Sir D, he was kind enough to give me two packs of custodies, and I'm still working on them. I just don't have the time to finish them quite yet. Sorry about that, 30, and start a new package. But the custodies are actually near and dear to me. These are my first tabletop miniatures that I ever painted in my life, and I just really love custodies because they're just so cool. The method of making a custody, guys, is different from the method of making an Astartes. It's not the same thing. You can produce a lot more Astartes than you can produce custodies, and that is key. And when the Emperor was alive, as far as I know, he used to make more, but now when he's not quite, alive, the process of making the custodies is a lot slower. So not everyone can be a custodian. That's a very important thing. But we are going to talk about, of course, principles of any fictional universe, because principles do matter. On one hand, we have the lore, and how people like me that are super interested and fascinated with the lore and the characters, factions, and everything. People that care about the lore. And then there are people that just play the tabletop and they kind of care about the lore. Sometimes they care as much as, only lore people, but their main thing is to play the tabletop. So that affects them to a point, I guess, or not really, because female custodies and male custodies will look the same, as I understand. And you guys said a lot in the community tab when I posted this topic earlier today, so we are going to get to some of your comments as well, and I'm going to get to the live comments as well. So if there's any relevant things, I'm gonna read it out loud and we are going to discuss. Now I'm really trying to not lose my train of thought here and keep this as tight as possible as a video, so I'll be addressing everything as well as your comments at the end of the stream. But I want to welcome Steel Striker, and just read his comment out loud right now because it just came out. He says, I am upset that they didn't flesh out Sisters of Silence. Instead, they decided to cause a fire and lie about them always being there. Yes, that's totally relevant. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's the thing, but it's just one of the points that we have to go through, and that is, of course, that instead of making other characters that are already there, other female factions, more relevant, more interesting, to have more lore, more of a role on the tabletop, more of an effect. They instead decide to, oh, hey, there's a female custodies. And I'm like, what? Female custodies? How did that happen? Okay, so as a female that really loves 40k, I just couldn't care less if I mean, I couldn't care less for more female characters. I just want good stories and good characters. I don't care if they're female, if they're not female, you know. But I do care if GW decides to break something that's already established, which is pretty much a retcon. So when we know that there are no female custodies, and all of a sudden they say on Twitter, oh, there are always female custodians. Oh gosh, I have a problem with that because it's a breaking of principle. And the principle is if you're going to, I mean, do not retcon things. And if you can, I mean, if you would retcon, because they are doing retcons anyway, but if you are to retcon things, the the one thing that you have to do that is mostly important, I mean, most important, is to explain with logic and make it make sense. How did that happen? But we don't know how did that happen. GW have not said how is possible that we have all of a sudden female custodies, and of course, how is possible that they were always a part of the lore when they weren't. No, they weren't, you know? So it is their duty to explain to us, people that have read a ton of lore, and I'm sure, you know, players even that have played this game from the very beginning and they know as much as possible from the lore, they know previous things that were changed and so on. What happened? Why would you do this? And every single change, for it to be justified, guys, because you know some changes, let's say there's some comic books that change things all the time, they have new versions, people are used to that in the comic book world, but still the principles that you should not break there as well are that you just have to make it make sense. You have to make it better than it was. If it's not better than it was, then you're ruining it in some kind of a way. Why is this change necessary? What does it add to the lore? What does it add to the characters that are affected? What does it add to us as fan base that enjoys the lore? You would say, okay, but you know, female custodies, that will not change anything because they will look the same. They will be as bigger and as stronger as the male custodies and all of that. And okay, to this I say, then why should we then need female custodians anyway? If there's not gonna be anything as a change, why there should be female custodians, you know? That means that GW wants maybe to push a particular agenda because they're maybe deciding to bend the knee to current politics or something, but they have to be neutral. That's kind of the thing. And 40k is one universe that a lot of bad things are present there and are happening. But that's the point of the freaking universe. There's a lot of depth also in the universe. Sometimes the Imperium can win, sometimes the Imperium can lose, and that is totally okay if it's if it's making sense, guys. That is why we have good writing and bad writing, because if something makes sense, has meaning, it improves the story, then okay, fine, do it. But if there isn't any value to it, why do it in the first place? You know, I'm not gaining anything by having a female custodian in the lore. Because what? You know, by today's logic, I should be feeling very amazing because I am female and the custodians are female, so I should be feeling amazing. So, because now I can relate to that custodian. I'm like, wait a freaking darn damn minute, I can relate to every character. I am human being. I do not need to be a certain, you know, gender or whatever to relate to a person. We are all people. I can relate to any person because we are all human. We all share particular qualities. And when it comes to fictional freaking characters, we don't know how it is to feel like a custodian. I mean, we read the books, we can imagine it. We can, uh, yeah, we can imagine it. We know it as an information. but we will never feel physically as that person, and we don't have to. We don't have to enjoy the story and to love these characters and to just be happy for what they are. And let me tell ya, Custodes are the coolest things. That's why they're my favorite faction in the 40k battle faction, you can call them. Astartes, I love Astartes, but the Custodes are top. They're top of the top of everything. The only thing that's stronger than the Custode from the human factions are the Primarchs, and then the only thing stronger than the Primarchs from the humans is the Emperor. So I love the Custodians because they're so loyal, so beautiful with their golden armor, so stoic. They can stand in one place for thousands of years and not get tired. I mean, ah, I never seen anything of an equivalent to the Custodes in my life. I never, ever, in my wildest dreams, had this thought in my mind one day when I woke up. Jesus, what am I missing today? Oh yeah, it's female Custodes. No, no. No, I never had a thought, boy, we should change some male factions, whatever, into female now, or switch some of them to female because we don't have enough females. That's stupid. We have enough females in the 40k universe, and even if there weren't enough, maybe the story didn't call for it. Sometimes that's happening. You write a story about a dog in the woods and it meets a wolf or something, and then there's a squirrel somewhere, and that is it. You don't need humans in the story. It's the same way, like if you write a world where there are not many women or not many men, it's just a story. Maybe it's a consequence of something that must mean something else. There's a meaning and depth in that. Who knows? If it's written correctly, a lot of things, a lot of concepts can have meaning and depth. So we don't need whatever it is actually to be pushed out so it can have a representation. That is ridiculous. That is stupid. I never thought for a single second when I was watching Conan the Barbarian, oh jeez, where is Xena? Actually Xena will fit perfectly there, but she wasn't thought of at this time. Actually when I was watching Conan, she was, but I didn't know about Xena at that time. So uh, you don't need a female Conan. There's one Conan. Conan is great by itself. Okay, Xena is great by herself. She's the best female character in my personal opinion ever because of her story and depth and all the things that happened to her and how she grew, all of that. So I am perfectly happy with her as a female character. The character the same way that I would be perfectly happy with Conan or Hercules. I will still I will still be looking up to these heroes and be like, oh my gosh, they have values, they have principles, they're doing great things. And now for the Custodes, they have golden armor, they are the protector of the emperor, the protector of the imperium, the shield of the imperium. They're absolutely amazing. When they get old, they go on different cool missions, and they still can kick a lot of Astartes' ass all by themselves, even if they get old. There's so many cool things about Custodes, and they have sisters of battle next to them, helping them because Custodes don't have psychic powers, but sisters of battle can know. I mean, they are knows, and they can block these powers, and psychers can feel ill around them. All of those things, and it was perfect. So, how is a female custody helping anything? How is a female custody adding to the story now? If they were invented from the very beginning, that would be another story. I would be like, fine, I would not think anything of it because it will be already there. But since it's not there from the very beginning, and now it's shoved here in this codex that nobody likes, then I will say, of course, how is this benefiting anyone really? The story, this character. I mean, okay, she is clever, she has strategies, she is participating and leading this blood game in which they're trying to bomb the palace, the imperial palace, and the emperor himself, all the custodies there as well. She's smart. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's not the point. It's not the point if she is a great character. The point is why all of a sudden you can't have something that is so established and not explain when you add something new. So, people will say that 40k lore changes all the time. Yes, it does change, of course. Some things are retconned, like the battle between Horus and the Emperor, how that went down. Some things were added to the Battle of Horus and Sanguinius that we were shocked by. Okay, but those things are justified in a lot of ways, that those changes are justified. Those books were not, I mean, the books for the Horus Heresy, some stuff were gaps, there were some plot holes that should be eventually filled. But this here, when there's text that says the sons of Terra's, not royalty, but yeah, something like that, royal houses, if I'm mistaken, just different words for that. But yeah, the sons, that's the point. The sons uh, are picked to become custodes. All of those things, and all of a sudden, there's a daughter in here. Go. There's a daughter. Okay. Fine. Okay, there's a daughter. Why? Explain. Explain. You have to explain it. You have to explain that there's a female custodes. I'm sorry. So it's not about the lore changing. It's about if you're gonna change and retcon things, because that is a retcon, then you gotta justify it with a very good explanation. How did that happen? And not say on Twitter, oh, female custodes were always there. No, the GW, no, because no, they weren't. They weren't there. So you can say maybe GW did fell under the pressure. If they did, that's stupid, because I see 40k as something that is sacred at this point compared to other IPs, because the way that it's written, it does not take any bullcrap. It just whatever it is. All horrible things can exist there. Also some good things, but the way that it's written makes really interesting uh, worlds, developments, the humanity, the xenos, everything, you know? So all of a sudden, we can't we can't apply anything that's modern and stupid in the real world 40k, because it does not make a drop of sense. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to take a look at your live comments as well, guys, because I'm seeing that you're writing stuff. And I will try to look, of course, as I said, at the community tabs comments, because they're pretty freaking interesting as well. And we are going to discuss, I'm going to reply to some of these. So, perfect day, some miniature painting, some cyberpunk, some Star Citizen after that, Jim, and now Gary. Oh, how blessed I am. Well, that is amazing, Sir D. Thank you for that. Okay, so going down. Biased response. Who has a biased response? I don't know, because I'm not biased at all. I just explained at the beginning that uh, it doesn't matter if I'm female or not. I would say the same thing for if all the custodies were freaking female and all of a sudden there's a male there. I'll be like, what is happening here? Anyone with any common sense would do that. So it doesn't matter if I'm female or male. I just care about good characters. I don't care if they're female or male, but I do care if whatever change is made makes any sense or it doesn't make any sense. Things just have to make sense. So I am as unbiased as I possibly can be. Okay, whatever else. Just leave the universe as it is and build upon existing factions and characters. Exactly, dear Clayton. I think that is what most people would want, and most people would not think, oh lord, let's change male to female characters for no reason. Just pray that they will not force Gilliman and L. Johnson into in what? No, I will not read that. Because YouTube. But yeah, they shouldn't do that because they don't have actually sexual preferences. Jesus. They added female knights into Britannia. In the new Britannia book, I had no problem. Maybe the writer got confused between the Sisters of Silence and Custodes. DRL, he can be confused because we all know the differences, and the writers know the differences a lot more than we do because they're writing these things. They have points to adhere to, they have lore to think about, all the lore that's already written. So they will not make continuity or character mistakes. So of course that didn't happen. And if they brought female knights into Britannia, that's one of those things. It has to be explained why they're there. So once again, it's not the problem that they're there, but something is already established. Then then it has to be explained why the new change is now here. Any change to be justified, it has to make sense. It has to be explained. Otherwise, we can write that a pink fluffy muffin just appeared on on Terra and it killed the emperor for some reason, and then everybody's going to be like, what is this kind of a crap? What is this crap now? What is this blue muffin or pink muffin that just appeared and blew up the emperor's already non-existing face? The heck, you know? So everything is about context, guys. Context is the most important thing. Okay, reading down. They probably don't feel like they have to explain it, but they do, though. They do. No matter what they feel like, they do on principles, on good writing. They owe it to everyone that ever liked Custodes or freaking 40k. Because, like I've said, then why don't they just write a pink elephant in the room? You know? Just accept the change and be good little consumer. Typical company policy nowadays, unfortunately. Yeah, well, yes, but that's why we have to speak up and make them see that we notice that they did something that's pretty major, and they acted like nothing happened. It's not about, once again, people should not understand this incorrectly. It's not about female or male. It's about, does this make any sense? Does this add to the lore and the story? And if you can't answer that question, if the answer is, well, it doesn't do really anything, and the female custodians are going to be the same as the male, and how does that make any sense? By the way, I mean, a female custodian is still a female custodian. Females are weaker physically than males, so if whatever process it is that creates custodies, if the female loses all of her femininity and just becomes a male in strength and body density and muscle mass, then what the heck is the point? And what are then the requirements of becoming a custody? Uh, don't you have to have like already a very good base for that, like very good genes as a male and as a strong male to be um, eligible to be turned into a custody? So how then a female can also achieve that? Does it make any freaking sense? Does it? Just let me know how that makes sense. Because only the strongest freaking males can be a custody. So how all of a sudden a woman can be a custody then, by that logic? There are some women that can uh, beat a man in real life. Yes, I'm one of those women and actually beat a few males in my life, but I'm not stronger than most males. Some males, some men are very physically weak, just very bad genetics. I can train and I can beat them, let's say. Uh, Purely in physical stuff like wrestling, all of that. I did that. Okay, but then if they really try to train and improve, they will become a lot better than me in just a few months and then beat me. So, even the weakest male, if they're trained, they have the best nutrition, all that, can defeat previously stronger than them woman for some reason. So a woman with very good genes and a male with very bad genes, but still that does not explain the current situation, because the Imperium will only take the best possible males. They will not take a male with bad genes and weaker than some females. And even if you take the strongest females ever, they will still not be as strong as the strongest males ever. That's just biological facts that we cannot overcome. So how, once again, how okay, the only way that this maybe will make sense, if the process of creating a custody will delete absolutely, uh, not count the fact that a female body is weaker, and just transform it into the male body perfectly, like without any flaws or weaknesses. But then we ask the questions, then then every male can become a custody. Then that is gonna happen, because if the process of becoming a custody can change you and make you a perfect specimen of a custody, that means that this process is eligible for everyone. Then why not make more custodies? Why there are so few custodies? Because of the process only? Because of the fact that there are not enough eligible candidates for that? You know? Then you have to answer all of these questions. And then you have to devalue the process of making a custodian in the first place and say, oh yeah, anyone can do it. Ah, what? Then delete the Astartes. Why do we need Astartes? Just make a lot more custodies. They're stronger than Astartes, than any Astarte. Just make endless amounts of custodies then, you know? Okay, let me go through your comments now, because I see that they piled up a bit. Yeah, Sir D is a good customer. Is there IP? I can just go along, suffer some silly emotions about it. Gary, you misread it. It was based response. Uh-huh, okay. It adds to lore. It adds female custodies. Haha. Uh-huh. This is heresy. Okay. And yeah, basically it could be heresy if you think about it. Remember, guys, the emperor told us to not be religious. So all the heresy talk is after he was on the golden throne. So basically, he will not say that it's a heresy. Oh gosh, okay. Who knows what he would say by this point, To become a custodian, the candidates are made at the genetic level from the infant sons of the nobility of Terra. Ah, yes, the nobility, exactly. Each process to make one custodian is unique and only used once. Great, great. That does not really explain the other things that I pointed out, but let's see the other comments. Women who can beat men are in the upper French. The men that are fit to be Astartes are in the upper French, and those who can be Custodes are the French of the upper French. Overlord Inquisitor, thank you for that. So yeah, if that is the case, and should be the case, then even less of a chance for a woman to become a custody then. It shows that they have a lot more ladies in team. It's in the team of the UK. So I'm more than sure that one biatch made a complaint, and that is. Well, once again, guys, we see a lot of examples that a lot of men that are like advocates of today's politics are pushing these things. They're not women always, or ever. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're Karens, guys. Karens everywhere, from a male and from females to Karens. Okay, this could be Karens everywhere. And Kit is here. Hi to Kit, my dear friend Kit. Wait, what? He's shocked. He's shocked. Yes, that is how I was when I first heard the news yesterday. Okay. So, as a critical drinker, what jokingly say, because it has to reflect the world we live in today. Yes, but it doesn't. Because, like I've said, the world that we live in today is the world that we live in today, and that world bend the knee to few. That's what pisses me off. To few people that are so loud and lack so so much of a common sense that just makes me crazy to think about. And the weak-minded people that have no opinions of their own decide to just be like, yes, of course, without common sense. Common sense be them out the window, okay? Ridiculous. Okay. This has to be a joke, yes, kid, but it's not, unfortunately. Okay. Did Games Workshop sign up for this? Yes, they confirmed it on Twitter. Yes, they did. And actually, I read the story. So in the story, kind of sounded like the female custodian was actually a female assassin that pretended to be a custodian, but that turned out to be not true because Games Workshop already confirmed that that is indeed the female custodian. So that is out the window as well. One expected Inquisition, and here it is. Right on time. Exterminatus, my lord. Yes, Exterminatus on what GW quarters. Wait till we get Primaris Custodes. Primaris Custodes? Ah, that doesn't make any sense, TRL. And then you have to involve Belisarius Cole, you know, to improve the Custodes and make them Primaris for some reason. But they're already so good. No, no, just a standard purge. Okay, by this logic, when can we see guys in the Sisters of Battle? Some guys with short, bleach white boob haircut. Yeah, I want a brother of battle. A brother of battle. How would that make sense, guys? I will tell ya, it will not make any flick of sense. The same way that female custodies do not make any sense. Yeah, a battle brother. Then just have a Astartes then. You know, make why don't you make a Astartes being custodies? Huh? A pink yellow bird into a custodies, whatever, you know. Oh Jesus. Okay, continuing. I'm worried about Henry Cow's Warhammer series now. No, I wouldn't be because Henry is really uh he's just really loyal, guys, to the 40k and to the fans because he's a fan himself. He did say that he wants to make this as true to the lore as possible. So I think that he will not even sign on if he didn't have all the creative freedom that he needs to have in this, because if he didn't, he would just quit like he did with The Witcher. He couldn't stand the crap and he quit. Yeah, you know, he needed the role at the beginning, but then when he saw where things are going to be, I mean, where things are going to stand, he was like, nope, I am out of here. So yeah, I think that he will go by his principles and not disappoint. The only thing that I'm wondering if he's going to start from the beginning or just be random like GW, just make stories from all over 40k without any like continuity and following particular characters that actually are important to the whole thing. So that's what I'm worried about, but I'm not worried about for him being loyal to 40k. Okay. Reading here. Let the misters of battle rise. Misters. Oh, that's funny. I want Zunbakur lore, not female custodies. Well, actually, I'm not sure who that is, Overlord. You gotta tell me. Misters of battle. Oh, yes. Let's just hope that Henry can have his say and have significant influence on the series. I believe he will stay true to the lore. Yeah, whatever I said. Being such a big fan, yes. Out of season April Fool's joke, okay? This is beyond stupid. Where have been all this time? Well, this is just new news from yesterday, kids, so don't worry. I mean, where have they been all this time? Well, according to GW, they were always there. So they just didn't. They just decided to not write about them in the lore. So then who is the sexist one? You know, they're just so ridiculous. It will come out at the end that GW are sexist themselves without even realizing. It's just so stupid, guys. Yeah, complaining to Valdor that helmets are destroying their hair. Oh, yeah, for sure. But you know, helmets should have like ventilation So shouldn't be a problem for the hair. Make orc custodies. We need inclusion. Damn it! Yes. Make female orcs. Are there female orcs? I've never seen female orcs actually. How can we not have female orcs? Oh, my day is ruined. Ah. Okay. Okay. What else? Soon they will change name to Custode them. No, 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 Serdi, no. You tricked me into reading this. Oh, I hope YouTube won't punish me for that, but yeah. Oh no, hope not, hope not. Well, Bio did make a prototype female space marine. It could be fluke or extremely rare for a woman custodian to exist. I'm not sure because they didn't explain anything, and I don't know if Fabius Bio would want to do that. I mean, who knows? Actually, he's crazy. He's focused on a very particular type of a marine. I don't want to spoil that if you haven't read the Fabius Bio and Belisarius Co. versus book. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm not sure. It's not out of the question, but still, if he made a female custody, she will work for him and she will not be in the Imperium to begin with. So yeah, maybe he integrated her somehow secretly and she's a spy, but I just don't believe that. Inherently in the Custodes' nature is to be loyal to the Emperor, so if someone isn't, something super major has to happen, as we found out from the last Horus Heresy books when we saw that actually, when all the Custodes were on the Horus's ship, they were attacked basically like a psychic attack, and some of them did change loyalty, but that required like a full save, something that is a whole and how they're made, but they still had to fight with every inch of their being for that not to happen. It was like a compulsion kind of a thing. So yeah, I think, guys, the point is also that the GW wants to make this make sense. If there's good writing behind it, they can always do that, but so far they didn't do it. And coming out with the answer that they always have been there does not give any weight and good reason for them being there. So we have nothing, absolutely nothing, but well, somebody just decided to force them in the way that everything is happening these days. So far it just looks like a total forcing it in, shoving it in up our asses. Jesus. How about the buddy of battle? What a gun. You mean the gun or that gun? I have 4 arms. A buddy of battle will be the end of the Imperium and the ruin of the M's sanity. Yes. You can bet that the Emperor is rolling around in his golden throne, being like, "Oh my gosh, no! Oh my gosh, no!" Yeah. Okay, Zun Bakur is a female pharaoh. Noah's Ferhacus, called the Mother of Oblivion, who rules the Manakert dynasty. Is that from Warhammer Fantasy though? Because I'm not familiar with these concepts in 40k. Sounds like fantasy to me. Let me know. Okay, oh, I got an idea for Games Workshop, a 21st returning Primarch who is a female too, even though they're only 20. I mean 18, and she's more powerful than Magnus, Malkador, and the Emperor combined. Yes, she's also a nagging Nelly and a Karen. How about that? Okay. Okay, so how about Lost Primarch would be disclosed as ladies? As many ladies or just a lady? Okay, at this point, it's not beyond possibility. Yeah. Nice lips. Oh, well, hi to you, and well, thank you. Something else. Well, the 2nd and the 11th are meant to be a basis for creating custom Astartes chapters legions. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's why I created mine, which are the Golden Astartes. They literally come from one of the Lost Primarchs. So yeah, thank God I play Necrons. Oh yeah, you do actually. Necrons are 40k. Oh, you mean that she is from the Necrons? Yeah, they're the only ones that have like Egypt style. And Magnus, the Emperor's children, no, the Magnus Legion. Yeah, they also have the style, but yeah, that's gotta be if it's not Necrons, they're only the only thing that is left is fantasy. But yeah, okay, if you say Necrons, then Necrons, that's pretty cool because I don't know many female Necrons, but there are obviously some. Okay, Necrons had two sexes before brain. Okay, biotransference, sorry, and they still remaining female and male, at least those who kept their wits. Okay, so Zunbakur is a Necron, yes. Okay, that's a very cool name, actually. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, probably no, but I'm getting around to Necron's lore more and more. So yeah, I'm catching up, so to speak, with time, as I'm doing with all the lore. So guys, now let's try and see some of the comments that were left in my community tab and see what you guys said there as well. That's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna reload the page, see if there's any new comments. Oh boy, okay, there's 14 comments. One of them is mine, I think. Okay, so sorry. So Ashen, what one there? That's very interesting. 3592 said, just let her have a full head of hair. That haircut is getting really gross looking nowadays. I'm not sure which one type of a hair he meant actually. I'm not sure. One other comment of Eliza Series 23 says, I'm definitely not hyped over it. On its face value, the change is primarily due to the current ideology pushed in many companies. Yeah, I really hope that that's not the case, but for now, guys, it really looks like the case, you know? It's poorly integrated with the statement that it has always been this way, while also showing none of this in the decades of available material. Yeah, it's just a way for ideological signaling by using an established setting and changing it abruptly without consideration for the universe effects. It is true that since it is fiction, sorry, it can be made up and changed as the writers please. But as a long-time D&D Dungeons master, I can tell from experience, even though I can't change anything in my games on a whim, it's the most engaging experience when there are rules and limitations to the world and remain consistent. Exactly. Like I've said, whatever change is made has to make sense and has to contribute positively to the story, the lore, the characters. Otherwise, there's no point to it. If there are changes for reasons other than improving the setting, then it should not be included. Exactly. Perfectly said. Absolutely perfectly said, Eliza. That's very hard to read. I'm sorry. But yeah, perfectly said. You can read those comments by yourselves. So yeah. So then Demon, I was just say the first part, said in my comment the Sisters of Silence would have been perfect for a retcon to this level. Upgrading them Primara style and introducing a new range would have made way more sense. Although how they do that would be GW to mess about with. I'm not sure about that. I mean, Sisters of Silence are good enough. I'm not sure why you should change them or like upgrading them to Custodes level. They're helping the Custodes anyway. You know, there's. I don't know if you should do that, actually. That is up for another debate, I guess. So, Pelican says, so Chaos took Terra at the end. Well, guys, turn off the lights and see you. Yeah, hopefully Chaos does not take Terra because that's gonna be a bummer. Hold on, guys. Let me see if you're writing something in the comments as well. Okay, you keep writing. I'm gonna read everything real quick so we can get to your live chat as well. And Scroofy says, well, to be honest, I see it as a cowardly. Yeah, I see it as a cowardly. Really, that's what he wrote. Cowardly from GW, there's been a big push for female space marines, so instead of making them, they instead make a single, as far as I know, female Custodes that has only showed up in the new codex. They are seemingly bending the knee by having female Custodes, but not all the way because it's not female space marines. And the Custodes are less popular faction than the Astartes. Again, cowardly by GW because they've steered things up in a half-hearted attempt for ESG points. It's pathetic, to be honest. Yeah. Well, I don't see, for the female space marines, we talked about this 100 times before. Maybe they want to try to replace the female space marines with female custodies because it's easier to just say that the process of making a custody is making possible, um, there to be a female, but really is not that much of a difference. The obstacles and the principles of making a custody easier than the Astartes, so there's that too. Although in the Astartes, it says that the gene seed can only work with males, but here, even if you can make a female, once again, if it has to be the strongest possible human being, just by a matter of a fact, that's just not gonna be females, okay? That's how it is. The problem is that not all of a sudden there are female custodies. Warhammer has strong female characters since the beginning. No one has ever hated the Sisters of Battle or the Sisters of Silence, or the Howling Banshees, or any of the myriad female Inquisitors, Tech Priests, Fiercers, Imperial Army Troopers, Commanders, Generals, and Admirals, etc. The problem is that they are doing it because they are all they are bucking under the pressure of a loud internet minority that isn't into Warhammer anyway. Yeah, just so they don't get pronounced sexist on Twitter. And some channel that I watched, I forget the name of the channel, said that yeah, it is actually sexist and everything that you can think of to have a bias and to put other genders or races or whatever in anything. That is actually sexist and racist and all that, because you are doing that forcefully and you're preferring them before anyone else. So you're not doing it for the story, you're doing it for the inclusion itself, and by principle that is sexist, racist, whatever. Yeah, so the irony is that what they're doing is the opposite of what they're trying to achieve. That's the ridiculous part. As I said, when you have a story about a carrot and the story just about a carrot, you will not put humans in there. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, but it's a story about a carrot. Then who will complain that there isn't a potato there? It's a story about a carrot, okay? Okay, but it's weird because as far as I know, Emperor made them male, so how out of the blue? But if GW doing it, it would just say, yes, boss, and buy more miniatures to play with my brother. That is Serdi. That's your comment, Serdi. And Demon said, ultimately, it doesn't bother me. GW have been a bit ambiguous with the background lore, the custody, saying that I don't recall any occasion where a female member was mentioned other than the Sisters of Silence. Sisters of Silence are not a member, so they're Sisters of Silence. I suppose if you're going to retcon the Sisters of Silence, but they're not, at least not for now, for a new range, then making them custodies would make sense. I don't see how it would make sense to make them custodies, as I've said. They're Sisters of Silence, and that will devalue them to begin with and destroy them as a faction and what they always were, Just wish they had been a bit more clear, save the needless drama. End of the day, it's their IP lore. They can do whatever they feel like. They can do it, but that's not actually correct, because once again, the fact that they can do it doesn't mean that they should do it, because they are catering to people that want to buy it. The books, the tabletop miniatures, whatever. The future stuff that are gonna be shown. So basically, they have to somehow consider if that will be liked. And is it a good writing to just put something out there and not explain it at all? Is it a good writing to put a pink flower onto the Emperor's head all of a sudden without explaining it? So, no, they actually have to make it make sense. That's their duty, literally. And 40k had such a good writing for so many years. So is not about if Jitari can do whatever they feel like. It's about that they have to consider how that looks from the outside and the quality of their product, because we are the ones that are going to determine the quality of their product and whether or not they stay in business for another 30 years. Actually, more than 30 years now, uh, close to 40. So that is how they can do whatever. I mean, technically they can, but they shouldn't, without consideration of their clients, literally. Literally. You just hate women? Where does it say, and you must be gay? Yeah, Alexander said that. Probably somebody were going to say that, but we have also good arguments here and facts. So there's that. Honestly, I don't mind female custodians. The problem is how they were introduced. Joe is saying that they always existed, which doesn't make sense to me since we can clearly see that they are not mentioned in any horse heresy book. It would have been better if it was more recent, for example, woman, that they have been existing for a few centuries before fall of Cadia or even at the beginning of the Endowments Crusade. Yeah, you can say that. I mean, if a female custodes existed, they should have existed from the beginning, or yeah, at the very least, um, a few millennia should have passed, and an explanation should have been given, like I've said. And the last comment, it's the eater of chicken. I would I would have preferred an expansion on the Sisters of Silence, more units, more lore, have them as an independent army codex and all. Well, having a second codex which allows both sisters and custodes as a singular fighting force. That's gonna be amazing because they do supplement each other. Yes. The Emperor Talons. Might be very small, expensive force, but hits like a thunder hammer. And no chaos shenanigans to stop you. Well, one can dream. Ave Emperor. Yeah, that's a great comment. Thank you for that, eater of chickens. Now let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. And yeah, let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. I need to drink water actually. That's too much talking. It won't go for me. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, catching up. Oh, I have an entire playlist of Necron on public if you want to learn more. You can always send that to me on Instagram, Twitter. Links are down below, Facebook. Maybe we can name this female Lost Primarch Ray. Or wait, Star Wars already did that. Oh, that was a good one, Thunder. That was a good one. Okay, continuing. Sisters of Silence, we get Brothers of Noise. 30. That's amazing. On a t-shirt. Dear Titan, record that. Sir D said, Sisters of Silence, you get Brothers of Noise. Amazing. Amazing this. Oh, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. I just saw that you follow me. Thank you so much. Overlord Inquisitor, that must be you that I got the notification for, because there was an Necron on the picture. Okay. And even I will like that. Yes. Female starters sound like Homokuba. What is that word? Jesus. Jesus. All prior codex say that all custodians are drawn from noble sons and call them a brotherhood. Yeah, exactly. There's no sisterhood anywhere. Hello? Sisterhood of Custodes. A wrong number? You know? Okay. Not the demonic Calabula. What? Sorry if I wrote it wrong. I just wiped my medicine and I'm a bit fuzzy. No problem, Sir Day. Thunder says this female custody sounds like Omega from the modern Disney Star Wars show Bad Batch, female clone of a male. Why? They never say or even treat it like it's a strange occurrence. Really? Because I have watched Bad Batch, but like the first half of the first season, and after that I didn't. So I didn't get if they actually explained that at some point. Yeah, Omega. Yeah, that's her name, Omega. Yeah, she's a part path. She's a she's a bad part of the Bad Batch. Yes, I'm always fast forward, and it's possible when it's little rat is in the episode. Really? Oh Jesus. Well, maybe I didn't miss a lot when I actually decided to not watch Bad Batch because I just don't have freaking time. So there's that. Yes, I'm a tyrant. Hi to you. I don't like it, but the thing that bothered me the most is how the side defending this change turned uh, into this political war, and how GW doubled down on the terrible retcon of always existing. Yeah, I know that was the thing that we were also focusing on here. Because they really owe us information, explanation, but they didn't do anything about that. Thank you for the time you are giving us today. Oh, Sir D, thank you so much. You do not want to know about it. Oh boy. Custodes brothers are from nobility. Custodes sisters are from the hood. Yeah. Also, that's gonna be the lore from the hood. But then everybody are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, you are devaluing the heritage of the female custodian. Oh my gosh!" And there will never be enough things that GW can think of that will make Karens be happy about that. You know. Brothers of Noise on a t-shirt with a guy in sister's armor and the white short hair screaming for the Empress. Okay, dear Clayton, uh, please copy paste that on my Discord, please, because I might as well get somebody to do that for me. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Getty Brothers of Noise are yours to use. Thank you so much, Jordi. Thank you so much for the copyright of this. I'm usually thinking of everything by myself, but it's good if somebody helps. Minus 40,000 Hammer War. Oh my gosh, these things just keep on coming. Okay, yeah, that's also a great idea for a t-shirt. I mean, we can make t-shirts that are themed basically with the fall of GW bending the knee to stupidity of today, which is, so sad because literally 40k is like the only universe that is still untagged, or now is not untagged because of this, but relatively untagged from today's stupid stuff. Whereas Star Wars, totally not. It's infected all the way now, fortunately. 40k, but it's opposite day. Perfect. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing, guys. Okay, I gotta make a screenshot or something. This just is not for missing out. Just amazing. Okay. Okay, guys. So I want to just quickly let you know about my non-Slaaneshy job that I'm doing at OnlyFans. It's not non-Slaaneshy thing. I'm helping with fitness, health, nutrition, sex education, which is intimate relationships and stuff. Basically, if you have any or had any issues in those areas, I can help with all of that. Sometimes I'm doing ASMR. If somebody likes ASMR, I can do a personal one. And I'm basically posting my own physique updates that are done with taste. So, non Slaaneshy things, only tastefully done things, so to speak. And I'm trying to help people there. So, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I really gotta go, guys. But I hope that I can be back tomorrow and we can do a lot more awesome things, especially if this story is developing. Yes. Oh boy. Okay. All female custodians are from Fulgrim's homeworld, apparently. Oh, that's great. That's interesting. I mean, is that an idea? Oh, damn it. My puppies. My puppies. Guys, gotta go. So, love ya. And until next time, it's been the 40k Empress show, guys. And like I've said, we're going to see each other very soon. Love you so.